can tell you lots of things about Dianne. She's a woman who accomplished a lot. But what I really want to tell you that Dianne is living and practicing science of mind in many areas in her life, in all areas of her life. She's a teacher and a student, and she has 2 teenage girls, so she is a teacher and a student. I'm sure that she learns a lot every day now about herself, about life, about how the world should work. She's a lover, she's a partner. She practices law, and I witnessed how Dianne showed her knowledge to me, shared her knowledge with me, that the universal law and the human law, it's one law. And I think that our legal system is blessed to have people who understand what law is working in the legal system. And Dianne is wisdom. She is wisdom. She always shares it. And she's love. She's love. If you want to experience the love in your life, just ask for a prayer from Dianne, and you'll be wrapped in love. And she is integrity. That's another very important quality. Dianne knows the truth, and she speaks the truth, and she lives the truth. And I invite you to welcome my dear friend, Dianne Stewart Hamlin.
Yes, yes, yes.
Wow. Good morning.
Good morning.
I'm so happy to be here. Wait a minute. Good morning.
Good morning.
Yes.
Yes.
Good morning, Celebration Center. I love this place. Yes, taking classes together creates a bond. I want to thank the community for making a soul call on me to show up today and be here and allow Spirit to use me as a tool to bring forth whatever comes through today. I love this place. I was sitting here thinking, it's been over 20 years now since I found Celebration Center when I moved here in 1998 to Washington, D.C. to go to school. And I was looking for a community, and I just remember finding this place. And back then we had Miss Thelma and Duke and lots of folk, and I would drive all the way around the Beltway to get here until I discovered Chainbridge. It was like, oh, you could do that. But it was what I was thinking about, and also this room, taking classes in this room, taking our practitioner exam in this room, all kinds of things that have happened for me in this community. I hold this community dear in my heart, so when I come here, for me, it's a coming home of sorts. It's a coming to a place where I was loved and nurtured and supported and met and challenged and pushed, and where I didn't always like the assignments, and I didn't always want to drive all the miles from work to get here to take a class, but I showed up every single day, and what I found was a place that helped me to unfold my own love, my own greatness, my own grace, my own harmony with the universe. All of who I am, what it did was it helped me peel layers back as I showed up every day for the classes, for the prayer calls in the car, for the prayer calls, you know, when we were praying eyes wide open because we were trying to get to class, and all those times, you know, that we got to show up. So when I was thinking about the topic for this talk, and I was thinking about wholeness and the whole, you know, theme of the month, and what does it mean to be whole, you know, I really sat in silence and just asked to be guided and directed and to be taught, to be guided to what needed to be said. And it was funny because when the topic came through, I made like this social media post, right? Good morning, life's in session. Are you present? And then I walked away and I went, oh, that was the topic. You know, and I sat back down and set the topic off to Irina. But what happened is I started thinking about what is life. And I started really giving, you know, a focus to what is life, because life is the center of all creation. It is what we all are, right? So this is what came through for me. Life is all of the attendant circumstances in your day-to-day existence. It includes the very breath that you breathe, the activity of your breathing. It is your yin and yang. It is everything that you are experiencing. That is life. So if that is life, and the question is, are you present? What does present mean when you think of the attendant circumstances of all of your day-to-day existence? What does it mean to be present? So the dictionary says that it constitutes the act of being actually involved, at hand, or being considered. So, am I actually involved in the life that I've been given? Or am I sitting around, right, and just kind of showing up? And when I say showing up, I don't mean showing up actively. Some people get out of bed and they do what they're supposed to do every day. They do the coffee, they get dressed, brush their teeth, wash their face, in whatever order you do that. And then they go off to, they drive to work, they do the job, and they come home. Which is really great, right? Because you are, if you're going to work and you're doing the job, you are somehow putting your talents into the universe. So you are sharing some of your talents and gifts just by going to work. But the question is, are you really engaged in it? So are you really actually engaged in showing up for the life that you're living? And for all of us, the life, unless you're living under a rock, the life that you're living includes and involves a great deal. It includes and it involves relationships, whether it's relationships with partners, spouses, children, co-workers, people on the beltway. You are involved in relationships. So the question is, are you engaged in them? Actively engaged. And how are you engaged? Are you engaged and present for the highest and best out of the situation or circumstance? Or are you just hanging out, right, and doing the status quo? Many people live at status quo, right? Which is, I show up, I do what I can, and then I don't push myself to do more. I don't push myself to be better. I don't push myself to be healthier. I don't push myself to do anything. I just show up in my life, and then I hope for the best. I hope. That hope, that wishful thinking hope, like it's going to be all right, I'm going to be okay, I'm going to pay my bills, I'm going to show up, and that's what's going to happen. That's what a lot of people do. But what is happening on the planet is we're having a quickening, right? I don't know if you can feel it, but there's a quickening happening. There is an unfolding that people have been calling forth, that we know that life is more than the status quo. So we're calling forth health and wholeness. And I don't just mean a physical health, I mean an emotional health, a spiritual health, a mental health. We're calling forth wholeness and health, and we're calling forth a new way of being on the planet where what's happening right now is there's a bubbling up, right? It's like when you try to heal something, what is festering under the surface has to come to light so that it can be healed, so that you can be with it. Now when that starts festering, right, and I'm not just talking about what's happening globally, I'm talking about in your personal everyday life. Stuff will start festering to the top because it has to be healed in order for you to experience your highest and best. So you can spend, and I'll say this too, right? Life is here, and it's here to teach you some lessons, and it's here to give you some opportunities, and you are a part of it, and you're calling it forth in your life. You call it forth whether you think you're doing it or not. There's a passive calling forth of what's going on in my life, and then there's this active thing that we do, right, where we start to engage with people. Active calling forth means that you call forth people in your life that you need to help you to get to the next level of your life. Now, you can do that within your marriage. You can need to get to the next level of your life within a particular existing relationship and call forth a particular situation and circumstance so that you can heal and your partner can heal because you're in partnership together. So one of the things that happens is we call forth situations and circumstances. We engage with individuals that push us, and then we try to push them away. As they're pushing us, right? We're like, this is too much. I don't want to grow like that. I don't want to do that. I just want to be in my home and be on the couch and live my life in the safety pocket, in the safe zone. And here you come wanting me to be present emotionally. My 15-year-old right now is calling me to be present in an emotional way that I'm telling you all. I'm like, Lord. The other day I went in the kitchen and I was like, Allah, Buddha, Jesus, all of y'all. just work this out. All of my sages, all of my great people, I need you all to come forth because this child is calling me to another level. But here is what I know. I know that at some point in my life, what I wanted to do as a mother was to be present in a way that my child could be all of who she is. And so now that her stuff is bubbling up to the surface, I'm like, whoo, okay, here we go. But if I understand that my job is to be present as a parent for this experience, then I show up in that way. You know, the 13-year-old is calling me forth to be with her in a different way. She's very quiet about it, but she's demanding every single bit of who I am to show up. This is life, right? This is being present for your life. It doesn't just mean that I get to like say, okay, I'm providing all of the necessary physical stuff. Here you go, here's some money, here's some, caregivers and providers and teachers and blah, 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 and I'm gonna hope for the best. No, I get to show up every single day as that parent that I committed to being. It's the same in my work, and it's the same for all of us. When you are calling forth, when you stop and look at your life, and I invite everyone to do this as we come to the end of the year, life is in session. It's a great time for us to take stock of what we did because we've created this artificial 12-month period based on the rotation around the sun. We've decided this is our period in time, right? This is our year. So we're coming close to the end of our year. And as we come close to the end of our calendar year, I invite you to look at your life. Really take a moment and look at your life and see who's in it. And ask yourself, is this what I really want? Are these the people that I really want to be with? Why is this woman here in my life? Why is this man here in my life in this position? What is their role in my life, and what is it that I am here to get, engage, experience out of this relationship? Because nothing in your life is by happenstance, okay? What am I here to learn? Am I engaged in this person with this person because I need to learn how to be a better human being? Irina talked about the word integrity when she introduced me. Integrity is very, very important to me. If you are going to show up in your life, be in integrity, be in honesty, be in truth, be in kindness, be in alignment with what you say you believe. Because your life is the expression of what you believe. What you say out of your mouth really doesn't matter. If you say, you believe in healthy, whole relationships, you believe in partnership, you believe in being the best employee that you can, you believed in your spiritual community and growing and nurturing your spiritual community, if this is what you're saying, then your actions ought to be in alignment with that, or it's never going to be made manifest. It's never going to happen. If you say this spiritual community is my spiritual community, I am here and I believe in its teachings, I believe in the abundance and prosperity of the universe, I believe in thriving goodness, I believe in wholeness, the topic of the month, wholeness. If I believe in all of that, then my actions every day are in alignment with what I believe, and it is outpictured in my spiritual community. It is outpictured in my relationship. It is outpictured in my life. It is outpictured because that's the way I am in integrity. So for me, and I invite you to also come into alignment with what are my spiritual principles? What is it that I believe in? Who am I when I say on paper, in my journal, or out loud in my conversations with my spiritual friends, right? Who am I saying I am? And then ask yourself, am I living in alignment with that? For me, one of the things that's important to me is trust, honesty, right? Trust, honesty. I show up as trustworthy. And I show up in honesty. I do not do things that are harmful to others. Not intentionally. And if I find out that I've done something that's hurt you, I try to immediately make amends and say, listen, I was out of line. That was wrong. I am sorry. And I try to live from that place in my life, calling myself forth to be my highest and my best. Because if life is in session, the only way I'm present is when I am in being honest, when I'm being integral about how I'm showing up. The only way that I am present is when I bring my whole self to the experience. Because the joy is in the journey. And I'm not saying that the joy is in the journey so there will be nothing hurtful that happens. Because part of up-leveling your life involves sometimes you finding places that you haven't healed. You finding places where you haven't felt completely whole. It involves you finding places that there might be some pain. And hey, let's face it, we're all on this planet together. So we don't each have our own little star and we can just go around without bumping into others. And others will bump into your tender spaces. They will bump into the places within you that haven't yet been 100% healed or that you didn't even remember was there. The other day, a couple months ago, I was doing my morning run, and I was having a little talk with Spirit, because I was like, let me just talk about what's going on in my life. This is not okay. I am not okay. I feel like maybe I'm compromising too much of who I am. What am I doing? And I was ready to pile it on, because when you are in a spiritual practice long enough, right, your ego can use all of the spiritual stuff and kind of beat you up with it. When you're not on your game. So I'm running and I'm having this, conversation out loud. And I'm thinking, God, why am I here? What is this about? This is not what my life is about. I'm not about being around people that don't have good character or integrity. Why is this in my life right now? What is this experience calling me to do? And I was angry. Let me say, y'all, I was angry. I had been angry for months because I had been hurt. And I was angry, and I was pissed, and I'm running, and I'm why am I still, I'm snot slinging, it's cold outside, and I'm why am I still experiencing this? And I'm going through this thing, and then all of a sudden, the Spirit says, because you had not completely cleaned up that part, no one can know for you that you deserve better. No one can know for you that you are better than this. And until you do the work to get to the place where you're fully aligned with the truth of who you are, this area of your life is going to have some festering and some corrosion. And I was like, And then, of course, I was annoyed because that, that means work. I'm like, I thought I was, at the point where I'd done this work. But no, there was something still left in that tender space. And because I'm calling forth health and wholeness as my life in every aspect of my being, there is this place that I must heal. And if there's anything left, until it's healed, I'm going to keep revisiting the lesson. So you might find yourself revisiting the lesson. I used to give relationship talks, and I used to say relationship talks, yeah, maybe this guy may have a different name and a different face, but it's the same fella if you're feeling the same thing in the same relationship over and over. You're just reliving the relationship. You're just switching out the player. So what I have learned, right, and what we all have to do is clean up the stuff, because anything that makes you uncomfortable is going to keep coming up until you do the work. And you can hide under a rock, but trust and believe something will find you under the rock, and you will be called to do the work. So your choices are to do the work or feel the pain and the discomfort of the continual loss and the continual hurt that you will feel in perpetuity until you do the work. Because you're here to grow and unfold and live your life fully. You got to bring your whole self, and you can't bring your whole self if there are places about you that have been tucked away in the secret, I'm going to keep myself safe box. You got to go down into the basement and get all those boxes and clean them out and toss them out and make an actual decision to be present for your life. Lately I've noticed, and I'm sure we have all noticed, it's the end of the year, and as you get closer and closer to the end of the year, a lot of people are shuffling off the mortal coil. And it's like, whoa, again, another person. And this year has been filled with a lot of that for me in my life and in the life of people that I love, just watching people shuffle off the mortal coil. And I was paying attention. Some people are leaving, right, at a place in their life where it's clear that they have delivered all of their gifts and talents. They've done everything they came to do. And then you got some other people that are leaving because they're just tired. And they didn't find a way to fully develop all of who they are. And so at the end of the race, they're just tired and they're like, I'm out. I can't anymore. Right? And the choice then, the question becomes, either way, which one are you choosing? Either way, are you choosing to live the life you've been given and be present in it? And be present in it. And when I say be present in it, when I was little, I went to primary school, and the teacher would call our names, and we would have to raise our hands and say present. Meaning that I'm here, I'm in this class, I'm present, teacher, here to learn right now, and I am present. Are you present? Can you raise your hand every day when you get up and say, I am present, Spirit, I am present for this experience as you, as me. I am here, and I'm getting ready to live this life, unfold this life. I am going to play my best drum. I am going to show up and be the highest and the best of who and what I am. Can you raise your hand and say, I am present. I am here. I am present for my life. And I'm going to show up every single day. And I'm going to deliver my gifts. And I'm going to do the work that is required. And sometimes the work that is required is just stop doing that thing. Stop eating that cake. Stop it. Stop it. Stop hurting that person. Stop it. Stop lying. Just show up and tell the truth. Be honest. Stop stealing office supplies from your job. It might just be as simple as that, but whatever it is, sometimes the work is just stop. It's not necessarily that you have to go in and, get all, because a lot of times in spiritual communities, we think we got to get all the books out, right? And we got to find all the right teachings and the right quotes. We got to journal every day. We got to, meditate 32 minutes. I don't know where 32 came from, but 32 minutes, 3 times a day. And we've got to do all these things. Spirituality is an active practice. So if you are present for your life, every single thing that you're doing is spiritual work. So you got to show up. It's not, the stuff that we do to get us, launched into the day, the prayer, the meditation, those things are great. And those things are really necessary and important for keeping the mind aligned. But your spirituality does not end there. It doesn't end when you leave this room. It is a daily living. It is how you're showing up. Be of high integrity. Bring your whole self. Don't play with people's lives. Don't sit around like pretending that you're in this situation or you're here for this job or you're here, but you're just showing up to show up, or you're doing it because it's fun right now for you and you're not contemplating what the other person is experiencing. Show up in your life in high integrity in every single thing that you do. Go to work and be the best doctor, teacher, lawyer, cashier that you can be. Let me tell you something, cashiers are some of the best people in the world because they take care of you as you're going through, and depending on how you interact with them, you will get a whole experience just standing in line talking to somebody that's behind a cash register. Show up for everything in your life in the highest and best. Show up and be in integrity. Be honest. Be honest. One of the things that I've really been focused on is honesty. Be honest when you show up in a relationship, in the relationship with my children. Every day I have to be honest. I have to tell my kid, you're a teenager and I'm scared. I'm literally like, ah! But I'm going to pray and meditate and act, and bring myself to, and my truth and my knowing that you really are God's and I was just entrusted with you. But I'm going to show up every day. But my human self is a little scared because you're growing too daggone fast anyway. And then you're a person with an opinion. And then you're back to being my little girl. And I'm confused, but okay. I'm bringing my whole self. I'm telling you that this is what I'm experiencing on the human plane. But I'm letting you know that I also know that the power and presence of God is right where you are. And all that you are, God is. So when we show up, right, in every relationship, in my relationship with my boss, if I make a mistake, if I decide something that may or may not have the best outcome or the intended outcome, I honestly go to my supervisor. I'm a supervisor now, by the way. But I go to my supervisor and I'm like, hey, this just happened, and I just wanted to keep you informed. This is what I'm going to do to address it. But I'm bringing my whole self. I'm present. I'm not just showing up, for the work that I do in and out of spiritual communities. I show up with all of who I am. And I do it in all my relationships. I bring my truth. And when I'm feeling quirky and weird, and whatever it is, the anger or the hurt, I bring my whole human self to the event. Because every single part of my life is the very life of God, and I know this. I know that I am, like the song said, the face of God. I'll picture, and that is what we all need to know, is that you are created out of the very DNA of all of creation. The most high of all of creation, the very center of the universe, is right where you are because you're created out of that substance. You are created out of the very substance of God itself. And so Spirit is having its way in you and allowing you to have that experience too, because you have your own will. So life isn't happening to you. Life is happening around you and you are part of it. Integrally a part of it, completely inseparable. So you have to show up. And there is no more, and let me tell you, once you've heard something, you cannot unhear it. So there is no more, I want you to hear what I'm saying. There is no more giving responsibility for your life to others. There is no more saying, oh, it was just a little thing, or I was just kidding. There's no more of that. You've got to own your stuff, because who you are is perfect, whole, and complete, and you are created out of the Most High, that which created this universe and all of the galaxies, every star in the sky, every planet, Earth on the axis, the 12 moon that we just had. All of that is the substance of what you're created from. And so you are great, and you do not get to give and lay blame and give responsibility for the things that you've created in your life to others. So show up and be present. Become accountable, right? Accountability is really important. Become accountable to yourself. You're not here to be perfect. You are here to unfold. So as you're unfolding and you're learning more and more about the truth of who you are, the very center of the universe is that which you are. There is no separation. None. Jen Fei God, God Jen Fei, no separation. It is all one. You cannot be outside of the presence of God because the present is not absent. It is present. The presence is always, always here. You are in it. It is you, and you're having your experience in it. Whenever you look at another person, another idea, another thing, another animal, anything that exists, you are looking at face of God, expression of God, idea of God. It was the idea of God that created this podium. Came through whoever designed it. It was the idea of God that created this substance, this plexiglass that makes it. Idea of God, everything. So the question is, how do we stay present with it and take ownership for our responsibility without getting our blame throwers out and start throwing blame at everyone else because it's everyone else's fault? We got to go in. We go within and we pray. And we go within and we meditate. And we go within and we take ownership and responsibility. And we don't beat ourselves up. We get very loving with ourselves and say, that was a mistake. I did that. I created this situation and circumstance. I caused this harm. And then we make a decision. I am going to heal this harm. I am going to nurture this harm. I'm going to rebuild this thing that I broke. I'm going to rebuild this place, my health. I'm going to take responsibility for my health. And I'm going to take my body seriously. Because as long as my body is hosting my spirit and my soul, it is my responsibility. I am accountable to it, and it is accountable to me. So I'm going to take responsibility, and I'm going to be healthy. I'm going to watch what I eat. I'm going to look at what I put into my mind and what comes out of my mouth. I'm going to make sure the words coming out of my mouth aren't hateful. And when you catch yourself saying really awful, hateful things, stop talking. Just stop talking. Say, I'm sorry. I can't have this conversation right now. Walk away. Own your stuff. And if it flies out your mouth before you can catch it, you got to go back and clean it up, because it's your responsibility to be present for your life. You cannot sweep things under the rug and expect that they're going to be somehow hopefully taken care of. Hopefully it'll work out. Hopefully she'll still love me. Hopefully he'll still be my friend. Hopefully we'll still show up together. Hopefully I'll still have my job. Hopefully my body is okay and I'm going to be healthy, and hopefully, you know, the food that I'm putting in me doesn't hurt me. Hopefully. No. You got to take ownership, become accountable, and step fully into your life. Step fully into your body. Step fully into what you feed your mind. Step fully in what you participate in, and become really present in your life. So that every morning, because every morning, right, when I wake up, I'm like, whew, I'm still in my body. So that means I still have an opportunity, right? And as I do that, and I allow myself to come online and become climatized to being in my body and come out of dream world, I know that that moment is a call that's being made on my soul. Roll call is happening in that very moment that I wake up. And so what do I say? I am present. I am present for my life. I am present to show up, to learn, to get better, to be better. I am present for the master teacher to continue to guide me as I unfold my life. I am present for this life I'm living, because I will not waste any of these precious moments. I know not what happens after this, but right now I know that I'm in this body and I'm having an amazing experience, and every day I'm going to show up for that. You're in your body. It is amazing. Even if it feels heavy, even if it feels like it's been challenging, start looking at the ways that you can bring forth gratitude. You can bring forth a reality and a realization and a focus on what is good in my life. I'm still in my body. I get another chance. What is mine to do today? As you put your feet on the ground rises up to meet your feet. You put your hands up and you ask, what is mine to do today? Use me, guide me. Show me from deep within my soul what I am here to do, and guide me, because the soul within is guiding, but you got to be still enough to listen. And any blessing that you have in your life, make sure you're nurturing them. Make sure you're nurturing your blessings. Make sure you're nurturing the love that you've been given, the friends that you've been given, the relationships that you've been given. They won't always be there. It's just the law. Time passes, things come and go. And if you are right where you are right now, interested in nurturing what you have, do that. Nurture your job. Show up and be the best. Nurture your body. Treat it well. Be healthy. Nurture your mind. Be cognizant of what you put into your mind. Nurture your mouth. Be careful of what's coming out of your mouth. And be gentle. Especially nurture the conversation you're having with yourself, because you are your worst critic. And you say the worst things to yourself. So whenever you hear yourself talking to you in your mind, just ask yourself gently, would you say that to Lorena? Would you say that to your friend? And if you wouldn't, then don't say it to you. Start to guide yourself, change how you think, change how you show up. And it's not an event, it's a process. So you do the work, you show up every day, you do the prayer partnerships, you feed yourself good things, you pray, you meditate, you show up every single day, and you call forth your highest and your best. And you come to your spiritual community, and you bring your best self, and you nurture it, and you show up every day, and be present. Be present for your life. Peace and blessings. And so we just... So we just call forth the moment as the practitioners are rising in the room to circle us. We call forth this opportunity to pray and to really know that I am the power and the presence of the Most High, and where I am, God is. And so as we each come together right now, how grateful I am to call forth the power and the presence that is in each of us. Never separate. Our awareness is shifted to the fact that we are created in the image and likeness of all creation, and right where we are, each one of us a unique emanation of the Most High. There God is. No spot on this planet where God is not, no spot in this universe where God does not exist. So right where I am, God is, love is, joy is, peace, harmony, health, wholeness, continued unfoldment. That is my life. There is no separation. God, Dianne, Dianne, God. It can never be separated. And I know this is true for me, and it is true for each and every one of us, the practitioners standing, holding the prayer space around this congregation, the beloved congregation, and everyone everywhere. No separation. God, the world, God, the universe, God, the planet, it's all one. And so each one of us having our beingness in and as the very expression of God, today we say that we declare absolutely without reservation that we are present for the life that we're living. We are present for every moment. We are present for every lesson, every unfolding, every divine opportunity to be more and more of ourselves, to bring our true selves, all of who we are, to the experience of life itself, so that every day we know that we have come and delivered all of who we are with grace, ease, with zest and zim and vigor. We are here as amazing expressions of God, and we are here to do the work to unfold the greatest expression of God upon this planet. So for this, I am grateful. I know that each one has everything that they need, that they have, that is necessary for the unfoldment of their highest good and the highest good of all around them. So knowing this truth, I release my words into the loving activity of the law itself, knowing it is already done. It is done in the mind of God. It is done in the law of God. It is done as God, as our very lives right now. I give thanks for this truth, for this knowing, and I release it with love and gratitude. And together we say, and so it is.